Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. How are you? Relationships, and relationships. I think that our life is totally and absolutely incomplete without the good relationships. Those people who are having the bad relationships, the life becomes quite unpleasant. For this reason, to make our life pleasant enough, I think that we need to work upon our relationships. We need to understand that what is wrong with it. How can I improve my relationships with the people, with those people in general, with the special people as well? And particularly, if at all my relationship is bad in certain cases, so I need to correct it, I need to improve it. Today, we have made it a topic of our discussion all about all the matters about relationships. So, all the matters about the strained relationships. How can we correct it? So, let's begin. Let's start talking about this issue. We need to understand, first of all, if at all the relationship has become bad. So, what are the reason behind it? That is something very basic, and there are seven possible reasons. There are seven reasons why our relationship is bad, why it is not good enough. First of all, it is the miscommunication, because we could not communicate things properly in certain situations. For that purpose and reason, our relationship became bitter, sour. Now, the second reason for the bad relationship, for the strained relationship, it is the unresolved conflict. There could be certain conflicts between the two of them, between the two or more people. I think that this need to be resolved, and obviously there is a way to do that. It is though a bit complicated in certain situations, but it can be done, and people have done it as well. Unresolved conflict, that is another reason why the relationship becomes strained. Now, the third possible reason, it is the trust issues. There are certain trust issues as well. If at all there is a lack of trust between the two, the relationship cannot become a good one at all. Now, the fourth possible reason for a strained relationship, it is the difference in values and perspectives. If at all, at a very important issue, very important for me, for you, for the two of these people, and there is a different perspective, then I think again the relationship will become strained. And also another reason why the relationship is not a good one, why it is bad, the reason could be the conflicting values. Now, the fifth possible reason for a strained relationship, it is unmet expectations. All of us have certain expectations, although I think that the expectations should be kept at a minimum level and not at a maximum level at all, because those people I have seen, I have experienced that if at all we are expecting much from another person, automatically the relationship will become a strained one. Now, the sixth possible reason for a strained relationship, it could be lack of empathy and lack of understanding. We need to understand better to each other, and we need to develop empathy, empathetic attitude. Putting ourselves into the shoes of another person and then trying to understand how the things are. Now, the seventh and the last possible reason for a bad and for a strained relationship, it is the past hurts, and past hurts are resentments. Yes, some sort of resentment in the past, or somebody hurt the other person in the past. So these are the seven reasons, and one or more reason could be at work if at all a relationship is a strained one. Now, the next segment of our today's discussion is that steps to improve strained relationship. What steps can improve our strained relationship? So this is that is very important segment. Again, there are seven ways to improve our bad relationship, and the first one, it is acknowledging and accepting the issue. Acknowledging the issue, accepting the issue, because unless and until we don't acknowledge it, we don't accept it, I think we will not be able to work upon it at all. So, for this reason, it is really important to acknowledge and accept the issue. Now, the second step to improve the strained relationship, it is communicate openly and honestly. Communication, communicating openly, communicating honestly. Openness on the one hand, and honesty on the other hand. Because if at all, if there is no honesty, I think there can't be any relationship, good relationship at all. Now, the third way to improve a strained relationship, it is it is the listen actively and empathetically. Listening actively. While listening, don't try to don't try to think that what I have to say once this person stops talking. I think it is far better to keep listening actively, receptively, and it is listen actively and empathetically. Empathetically, empathy mean feeling the pain of another person, trying to put ourselves into the shoes of another person, so that we are better able to feel and to think that what a person will think or feel if they are in this situation. So that is the fourth way to improve the relationships. It is identify and address underlying issues. Identification and addressing the underlying issues. Identifying and addressing underlying issues, because if at all we are unable to properly identify, the things will not improve. If at all we are unable to address it, the underlying issue, again the thing will not improve at all. Now, the fifth way to improve a strained relationship, it is seek a common ground and shared interest. Common ground on the one hand and shared interest on the other hand. Try to find out what is the common ground between the two of us, and what is the common ground, and what are the interests found on the both sides of it. Now, the sixth way, it is apologize and forgive. Apologizing on the one hand, forgiving on the other hand. Both of these things are necessary. On the one, we need to forgive. On the other hand, we need to seek the forgiveness from another person, so that our strained relationships become better. Now, the seventh way to improve a strained relationship, it is set boundaries and set expectations. We need to limit the expectations. The expectations should not be unlimited at all. The expectations should not be very high at all. Otherwise, we will be hurt and we will be unhappy. The relationship will become strained. And not only this thing, we need to set boundaries. Setting boundaries, it is also very important that up to this extent I will go and not beyond that at all. Up to this extent I can bear you and not beyond that at all. So there should be rules and regulations, and not without that at all. So the next segment, the C segment, is effective communication strategies. Effective communication strategies for a very good relationship. So number one, it is the active listening. Listen actively, listen attentively. Now, the second way for the effective communication strategies, it is use I statement. Using of I statement, not the you statement, not like that. Now, the third is avoid blame or criticism. Avoiding the blame, blaming the other not to blame, not the blame game. To do not start a blame game at all. Now, the next is, dear friends and fellows, focus on the issue, not the person at all. Focus on the disease, not the patient at all. Here it is, focus on the issue and not the person at all. The fifth way, it is seek clarification and seek understanding. Seeking of clarification on the one hand and seeking of understanding on the other hand. So that is effective communication strategies. Now, the next chapter, it is conflict resolution techniques. Yes, there are, if at all there are conflicts, it need to be resolved. And conflict resolution techniques, what are these techniques? These techniques are five in number. Number one, stay calm and composed. That is the first thing. That is extremely important. Don't get nervous. Don't get panicked. Don't get angry. Don't get emotional. Rather, stay calm and stay composed. Now, the second is avoid, avoid, accusations. To avoid assumption, do not assume, do not start assuming that this person has done this bad, this person has done that bad. Avoid assumptions. Now the third is, focus on finding solutions. Focus on finding solutions, not to keep looking here and there, rather to find the solutions. Now the fourth way to to conflict, to resolve the conflict, it is seek a compromise, seeking the compromise. Now the fifth way to resolve the conflict, it is take breaks to cool down, taking of the breaks to cool down, not to carry it on for a longer period of time without the interval or break, rather take breaks to cool down. And of course, seeking compromise, seeking compromise. Those people who are uncompromising, they never succeed in their life at all. So seeking compromise is important. Now the next chapter, it is rebuilding the trust. How to rebuild the trust? There are five ways to do that. Number one, be reliable and be consistent. Whatever good you have adopted, be consistent about it. Be reliable, be a dependable person, and be consistent. Whatever you have agreed upon, whatever good you have started, carry it on. Now the second way for the rebuilding of the trust, it is follow through on commitment. Whatever commitments you have made, follow through on them. Now the third way for the rebuilding of the trust between the two parties, it is, it is uh, demonstrate empathy and understanding. Always demonstrate empathy, always demonstrate understanding, because lacking empathy, they will be no compromise at all, and lacking understanding, there will be no good thing between the two of you. So, demonstrate empathy and demonstrate understanding as well. Now the fourth way for rebuilding the trust, it is share, show appreciation and gratitude. Showing of appreciation, appreciate them, appreciate them wherever good they have done, and be grateful. Show gratitude as well, whatever good they have done. Do not hesitate to appreciate it. Rather, do encourage them. Do, be grateful to those people. Now the fifth way for the rebuilding of the trust, it is be transparent and be honest. Being transparent on the one hand, being honest on the other hand. So now the next chapter is, maintain healthy relationships. Maintaining of healthy relationships, there are five ways. Number one, schedule regular check-in. Because it has become very easy now to start a contact, to carry it on, to carry on the contact, because the smartphone is there in our pocket. So my dear, but physically too, in person too, we need to visit the other people, and we should avoid the other people as well. Now the second, it is practice empathy and active listening. Practicing the two things. The first one is, it is the active listening. The other is, it is empathy. Now the third is show you know Third is show appreciation and showing of gratitude. Now the fourth is respect boundaries and differences. Whatever, wherever they differ from you, I think we need to respect their opinion. It is not compulsory to agree with them, but it is compulsory to respect their opinion. And also that, it is also important that, it is also very very important that there are boundaries, and beyond this limit I won't go, and beyond that limit you cannot go as well. So I won't allow you beyond that point. Now the next is, the fifth is cultivate shared interests and activities. Cultivation of the two things. One is the shared interest, the common interest, and the other is the common activities. She cultivate, because if at all there is something common, if at all you do have the common activities, if at all you do have the common interest, it will help you a lot, because it will help you a lot in rebuilding that a shattered relationship. Now the next chapter, it is, remember, relationships take work, and relationships take effort as well. Without the work or effort, the relationship is not going to be a good one, a strong one. Now the second thing to remember is forgiveness and understanding are keys. Forgiveness, forgiving other people and understanding other people, that is the key. Now the third thing, it is communication is essential. Keep communicating, keep communicating with each other, and in a positive way as well. Now the fourth way, it is the patience and the empathy which are vital. Patience on the one hand, empathy on the other hand, because if at all there is no empathy, I think there can't be any good in it at all. And if at all there is no patience, again there can't be good in it at all. Now the fifth and the last, it is the small steps that lead to significant progress. It is the small steps that lead to significant progress. So inspirational quotes, there are few. So my dear friends and fellows, I think it is really important, really useful and beneficial for us, that we are better able to make a bad relationship and convert it into a good one. That's all from me today. Thank you very much.